Hello, everyone. If you're watching this post, this is our first afternoon tea. As you can see, we have a massive turnout today. No, we have some amazing people. Jasmine and Cinder just introduced themselves. Jasmine's in SaaS and this kind of field of, hey, how are we looking? But she also is trying to look at how to build her own softwares in this vibe coding space, but perhaps with fundamentals that are actual software fundamentals, which a lot of my research and things are around. Cinder, you said you were a professor, a business professor, greatly hated by your students in the best kind of way, which is exactly what you want. If you're not pushing your students, I don't think there's much going on there. But today we have Joseph Firamonte, who is also was previously a professor, but has 20 years of experience in the industry. And I'm going to let him kind of dive into what his company is. He has two companies, Dark Square and Constellation. One is a larger kind of agency. The other one is an actual software product. And he's been building them out for a while. And I really respect him in every sense of the word. He's wildly creative, has a deep understanding of these crazy esoteric marketing concepts and psychology, but somehow pairs it well with design and software. And hopefully he'll be joining us a lot more in future ones. But Joe, I'll give you the floor and introduce yourself. And just double checking, everyone can hear me all right? My mic doesn't sound terrible? Wonderful. I should have checked that before I started talking. So yeah, take the floor, Joe.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Good to meet everybody. Thanks for making time. I'll challenge you, Cinder. I was the mean professor at every school I've been at as well. So I was at the University of Baltimore for a while. I would wear a black suit, black shirt, black tie. I was the scary business-minded art professor. So that's kind of my background. I went to SCAD for graphic design, at a terminal degree from SCAD, and my focus was in branding and just my personal interest. I read a tremendous amount of theology and philosophy, and it's just helped me think deeply about paradigm shifts. That, along with teaching the history of design, and just really trying to understand when these big changes like the internet happen or AI happen, like what does it do to society? Just for context, my company Dark Square, my branding agency, we were helping multi-billion dollar in revenue companies talk about AI like 7 and 8 years ago, before everybody was talking about AI. And we were really thinking deeply and working with these large companies and their leadership to think about, okay, it does all this stuff and it can do all this stuff. And what does that mean for a business or for an individual and for everything in between? Um, so we've just been kind of pondering this for a long time on behalf of some interesting companies, and here we are now. Everybody's thinking about it and talking about it and arguing about it. So it's been fun to watch ish, I guess. It's kind of interesting to watch. Um, so yeah, that's my agency. We're a positioning firm. We kind of look at really complicated technical solutions and products and try to figure out, okay, how do we talk about this like human beings in a way that's meaningful? And through that process, working with a lot of big data companies, um, we've always used mood boards to help bridge the gap visually and creatively with technical leadership, right? If somebody says, I like the color green, I'm talking with the CEO or chief marketing officer or something. It's like, okay, a lime green, a mint green, a Kelly green. What green are we talking about here? Where a mood board is a data point where they can point to it and tell me, like, I like this green because, and we can have a meaningful conversation
Bluetooth
about what's going
mode.
to work. Whoop, something happened. I don't know what that was. We'll keep going.
Share the screen of
Um,
your website too,
oh yeah,
just so.
cool. But in
This again, this is not a funnel for you to buy.
no,
This is a
it's
very
it's
specific client base. It's just to show off, like, hey, if you have questions about how he gets clients or what it is, then that's to ask. But yeah, go for it.
yeah, and it's we were working with a lot of big data companies in the 20 teens, and just thinking about these things and working with that single data point of one or a few stakeholders. We're just like, why hasn't anybody scaled this? And so we made a really simple system. We've got 2 patents pending on it. If you flip back to constellations for a minute there, Jake.
Yep.
Um, and it's just such a simple and elegant solution where we're able to send these mood boards to thousands of people, and ask them to drag green dots on things that they like and red dots on things that they don't like within the context of a particular prompt. And what we are really just learning now as we start to build it out and use it more commercially than just the little branding, the branding projects I shouldn't say they're little, but the branding projects I was doing was very closed circle. Um, that you can it's a different kind of data. It's a data you can really see, and the way we can funnel it and move it around gives us this tremendous insight into how people are feeling about things, where people align on things, where they disagree on things. Um, and it's been just fascinating to work on. So I'm probably the least technical person on the call here. I operate more in the aesthetic, but I appreciate the technical enough and the need for good data, a particular type of data. Um, and just I don't know, I just thought differently about my practice and guild as a graphic designer and thought of mood boards as data points. Actually, lots of data points, and so yeah, that's what we've been working on. And Jake's been instrumental in just how we're not only integrating AI like everybody's doing, right? I feel like it's everybody's got an AI something right now. It's a lot of hype, which we've seen so many times now. But how are we going to AI proof whatever it is we're doing, right? How are we going to keep it human? And so this is just a magnificent tool for getting human reactions and patterns of human data into an AI to make sense of that and to interact with humans more effectively rather than, all right, we're just going to pump out a bunch of stuff and see what sticks. And I just keep coming back to this dilemma as a professor and as an advertising kind of person in the marketing space or whatever. Like, what happens when all the teachers are making things with AI and the students are all taking tests with AI? What are we doing? What are we doing when all the marketers are just pumping out endless marketing materials with AI and people have AI set up to read all the things that they don't want to read, and we're pumping just megatons of carbon into the atmosphere for what? Like, what are we all doing in the meantime? And so I'm hoping this tool answers that to some degree, or at least adds a perspective. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. Dark Square has funded the whole thing. It's kind of out of pocket for me. I'm fortunate to have a really strong business there, and we haven't had to go for VC or anything like that. We've built it out with our developers. Um, we're probably moving a little slower than I would like to. If we had the VC, we could probably get there a little faster, but it's been going well. We have a few customers who are using it on really exciting projects, and every time somebody uses it, we just learn so much about how people interact with imagery in a way that was never measurable before, that I feel like this is the first time this kind of an approach has made it measurable. And yeah, it's been fascinating.
Perfect timing, by the way. That was like spot on. We now got 10 minutes for all questions and answers and stuff too. I just wanted to double down too. Yeah, this aspect of like where and where not to use AI. I'm always a big fan of whenever I'm working with companies, this concept of like, hey, where can we just not touch AI at all and use traditional software, right? Is there some sort of solution here? And you'd be surprised how often like there's people will try to throw a language model or even just a normal Bayesian model at something that like a Python script could solve.
Right.
Or in my case, one thing that I just want to share before we go into questions, I've been developed something. I'm going to post it into chat here soon, but it's called Model Workspace Protocol. It's a paper I'm pushing for publishing here soon. Long story short, this is all a whole bunch of history, and I've got like 51 citations of like old stuff. But everyone right now is trying to build these crazy apps and agentic workflow layers and things like that, when you can really just create a nice folder that has a bunch of text in it, right? Your Claude MD that decides where you should go. And that acts as the app itself. This looks super complicated. If you're not into code, don't worry. I'm going to break it down simple. If I want to say, hey, go build me an animation from my Apocalypse V1 script, Claude immediately knows all of that, not because of software, not because of Python, not because of anything else, but because I have folders and I have natural language text documents that say, hey, Claude, read this. This is my folder structure. If you want to write a script, go to this folder. If you want to learn how to script a structure, go to this folder. And I wrote my own processes and voice and things to limit in those folders. This is a huge orchestration workflow that like AutoGen and Crew AI and all these companies, NAN, are trying to create. But at the end of the day, the Unix philosophy back in the 70s and the 80s was data's a folder. If we can make it as simple as possible, where I just have a folder on my computer where I can store everything and I have something running through it all, it's working well, right? This is just Claude code. It's base Claude code. It's not anything like special. I don't have a beta thing with really good MD files. And yet it's outputting controlled structures, documents, things like that. And the reason I bring this up, one, I'm making more videos on this. This is one way to solve these problems of how many AI do we use? Because it's not just agnostic to Claude. You can use other coding agents. I can use local models. And it ends up using folders as the architecture. And the reason I want to bring this up is specifically for you, Jasmine. If you are looking at building a software, build a folder set of a workflow that you really want. See if Claude Code can execute it. Then you build software to make it better, right? You figure it out. Or you build a software that fits into a folder structure like this. Those types of softwares are going to last 5-10 years, right? Or at the very least, you can sell them to an AI company because you've created a bespoke workflow and concept that's not something you generate from training data. You can't throw AI at the problem necessarily to discover it because it doesn't even exist yet. Which is just kind of hitting on this. We want to ask the questions. We want to think about what's simple. And in Joe's case, a picture's worth 1,000 words. In my case, a folder's worth 1,000 words. And that's just kind of what I want to throw there. And this, we got about 6 minutes left since we talked. We can stay a little over, but I'd love to see like Jasmine or Cinder, if you both have very specific questions about, you know, how Joe was building his company, what it was like, or what I've done in my softwares. I've got about 5 softwares that I've built in the last 2 years that have done well. I'd love to answer any questions and leave it open for all you know, if you have any.
Yeah, Joe, actually, I have a question for you. What makes you decide that you left the institution and started your own company?
Sorry, say one more time.
So what actually made you to left the university and start your own company?
Oof, we're gonna record this.
Okay, we can turn it off.
There's a lot of reasons. I think at least in the United States, the college industry is struggling, and so they're trying to extract as much work as they can out of professors. And I'm not gonna pretend like it's not a cushy job if I wanted it to be, but I have 2 young kids and two businesses, and like it just didn't have the bandwidth for all of it. I can go back to teaching 10 years from now. I can't raise my 2-year-old 10 years from now, and that was kind of that. I'm kind of very frustrated with the industry, at least here. I'm sure it's different in other schools, but a lot of my colleagues are all up in arms and anti-AI, which just is mind-boggling to me. I remember when I was an undergrad having a professor tell me you can't use the internet to write a paper, and it's like, could you even imagine? Like, what a disservice to those students to say that you can't use this technology, rather than teaching them to be ready for the career they're going to have the rest of their lives, right? It's just, I'm just very frustrated across the board. So it's time to take a break.
Yeah, I echo you 100%. It's not much of a difference. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hi, David. Sorry you're catching the last bit here, but we did record the whole thing, and we're in the Q&A part now. But if you want to say hi and introduce yourselves, you're more than welcome to.
Hey, how's it going? Sorry, my camera's off. It's late this side, so I don't have good lighting.
That's actually I was going to make a poll because I know there's a lot of international people. I'm happy to move it earlier into the day or later. I just wanted to give this one a kind of just get it there Friday. Future ones, because I know, yeah, in the UK, you're 3 or 4 hours ahead of me right now, so it's getting late there.
Yeah,
so I want to make it's not really afternoon tea for you. It's more evening tea. But no, I'd love to. And David, where are you located right now?
All right, no issue, no issue. Thank you though.
That's okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, I just finishing up here though. Jasmine, do you have any questions or statements? I mean, do you feel like you got anything of value out of the last 20 minutes? I hope you did.
Yeah, no, so actually like I don't necessarily have any questions because I need to like go away and think, you know, I'm like that kind of person. I need to look at what you've actually put together there. But super interesting. Obviously I've got like an arts background, so the visual side to your like the whole thing you've got going on there, really interesting. And actually a lot of the stuff I'm doing at the moment is really working on mood boards. And it's
can we do we have a minute? I'd love to show you the back end because I mean it's like we didn't look at the reporting side and it's fascinating.
Yeah, I would love that because honestly, like I think mood boards are like one of the most underrated things. Like, so you coming in, like it's something I'm really like I'm trying to work on a piece of software at the moment to like visualize data, but like I don't want to visualize data in like a normal way. Like I want this to be like very different. So I'm really spending a lot of time of looking at everything. Like how does like fucking sand and water sit next to each other? Not, you know, like that kind of stuff. So
yeah.
I'm just doing a lot with like mood boards and just before doing AI, before doing coding, before doing any of that and getting the real sort of like I like the linear bit of this and like iterating just on the real world that lives already. So that when I actually get to the point, like I've built the questions, that should all be able to be visualized now. But how do I want that to look? Like I think I'm so sick of everyone being so, oh, we've got vibe coding, we can do whatever we want, I'm just going to jump on it. Like, no, I'm going to take a few weeks to actually sit here and really analyze and really work on this and come to something that is actually a thought out proposal, not, hey, I'm going to take 30 seconds to write a quick prompt and have something that is produced, which it is true, you can have that. But also, if you take a few more minutes, it's going to actually change potentially the world if you do it right.
Yes.
Yeah. Jake, can I share screen?
Is it letting you or?
It's saying awaiting approval.
Oh, I didn't get a link. Can you request one more time? Maybe I missed it and wasn't paying attention. Let's see. Allow screen sharing. There you go. You should have it now.
Alert. Yes. There we go.
Amazing. While you're pulling that up, Jasmine, I just want to say too, that is the whole spiel behind like why I'm automating the way I'm automating is before Claude's even generating anything, I spent months just figuring out what words I want to say, how those words look, all that stuff, because AI doesn't just automate us, it automates all of our mistakes, all of our nuances, and then it fuzzies it up. But if you spend the time, those little teeny weird nuances and critiques of design, then you amplify it, you're going to blow past competition. So I think where you're on is perfect. Perfect direction.
Put shit in, you're going to get shit out. And like,
totally.
Like, that's with everything. And it's always been like that before AI came along. If you, it's
100%.
It's the mentality you just have to have with everything. Just take a few minutes, stop, breathe, think, then do.
Correct.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah. Absolutely. You're spot on with that. I'd love for you to write some posts on that if you feel like it in the main chat. You don't have to be involved that much. I just love having everyone involved in the community. And I think everyone has something to offer here. So feel free to, if you're anytime want to have a rant, just toss it in the main thing. Like, please.
I will love that. A little rant up about my week this week because it's the same topic.
Amazing. Please do it. I'd love to. Or even if you have a Substack or something, I don't have a problem with people cross-posting.
Thinking of doing one of those because honestly,
I recommend it. I have some paid subscribers on mine, and I don't do that much marketing for it. It's really weird and boring niche stuff, but some people like it. But Joe, are you able to share? We're over time here, so if anyone wants to leave, you're free to. I like this, so I'm happy going over time.
It should be sharing. Can you not see it?
I do not see anything.
Really? It looks like it's sharing. Huh. Try one more time.
If it doesn't, do you want to send me a link and I can try to look? Oh, I might not have access to your backend.
Yeah, you'd have to log in. Let me try one more time.
This is good. This is good practice because there it is. Okay.
There it is. Okay, cool. So yeah, so the test is super easy. It's worth seeing though in a private window. So we just have, green dots on things that pop, right? So we're doing a series of like these painful things that clients tell designers, like make it pop or can it be edgy, as just a demo of what it does. So you drag your dots, you drag your dots and hit next. But on the reporting side, we get our heat maps and we can see, okay, this for our audience of almost 40 people, not pop, but the real powerhouse. So you go through and there's a handful of mood boards, but it will score those and you can set a threshold, which is really fun when you're presenting to a board, because I can ask the CEO, what's your risk tolerance? Literally give me a number. And then you have these comparison arrays where you see the difference between what people said that they like for a brand or for a particular topic like pop, by contrast next to it what they don't like, and then what the contested ones are. And so we kind of have all these ways of filtering that info. We can say, okay, if somebody put a green dot on number 3, they like this purple color, only show me what those people like and dislike. And so we'll get different vision boards based on that filtering. We can narrow it down to individual entries or groups of entries. I guess that person didn't have any. It might have been. There's some blank ones in here.
Between people, like if people liked this one, you're more likely that they like this one and this one as well.
Ugh. Correct. Yeah, that's what this.
Aren't we? I love it.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is so much fun. And then like he hasn't even started doing demographics yet, which I'm super interested in as well.
We just figured out how to segment based on demographic targeting. Essentially,
continue what you're showing. Yeah.
Yeah. Essentially, we can generate 20 different URLs and segment by those URLs and send it to, this one's on TikTok, this one's on Facebook, or this one goes to this particular mailing list, and that URL will segment those groups, and then we can run comparison arrays on that. So there's just all these different ways of filtering how, who do you want to see what they like and don't like? What groups of people do you want to see what they like and don't like, right down to the individual, and then the cloud of all the people. We can even see things like which dots dropped first or last and gain some insight there.
Oh, nice.
We also have a 2-minute timer that's sped up, and that shows us kind of what are the knee-jerk reactions and what are the more contemplative, drag and drops on those.
How much data?
And then say again.
Just so much data. Like I just love your software. It's just literally the software version of a picture's worth 1,000 words. It's
and and this is the part that Jake has been so helpful with, is we're able to download all that data. We set up all our configurations and segments and whatever we want to do with it, and then we have created these analysis models that give us these pattern recognition reports based on semiotic discipline and other interpretive models. And for me as a designer, the pain of trying to explain why this is a good idea or a bad idea visually to non-artistic people, and I'm able to walk in and show them side by side what an audience of several thousand people like and dislike based on the prompt, and have this really articulate write-up for them to read, so that when we go into that meeting, we're speaking the same language. It's really a translation tool for me to work with people who don't necessarily have my background. I can not only get them up to speed, but in the context of an audience where I could have been wrong. I mean, for years I've designed on gut and using mood boards with single individuals or maybe a couple of people. Now I'm able to get data from thousands of people and go back and say, this is going to work. And I can honestly say too, my clients have seen the impact, the ROI that they are getting out of Dark Square's work by using this tool has been fantastic. So yeah, it's pretty neat. And I don't know if we have any Zelda nerds in here like me. I just love The Legend of Zelda. It's a game I grew up with, but they're making a movie. And this was our most complicated test. We had 6 boards on this one for what the characters should look like in the movie, what the supporting characters should be from the game that's 40 years old. And the write-up on it is just, when I was going through, I was like, this is absolutely brilliant. Like, it's just crazy what it's able to kind of find in people picking dots on images. So
yeah,
so clever. Honestly, this is really, really, really cool. Like, I didn't know what this call was going to be, but like, I
appreciate it. I think it's cool. We're still early and we only have a handful of clients We've really only been trying to sell it for about a month now. So I've been working on it for a year, and I've spent a ton of money on it. But I just think the opportunity is
I know it's massive.
limitless. So,
Like
yeah.
it's like if you've got any sort of like inkling towards design and like like data, you've sorted it. You've made data pretty and like factual. You know,
Ooh, that's
like
Well,
statement,
it's the
Joe.
right
You've made
kind of
data.
data.
yeah, exactly. It's the right kind of data. No, it's
Yeah.
super
Thank you.
clever. Like,
Thank you so much. It's
really good.
encouraging. I need it right now. It's kind of like we gotta get this out here. So
So I get a question. How did you collect the data? Do you pay them to collect, or just randomly send to a social media? Then they volunteer it.
for these ones, it's kind of random social media. When we're doing it with clients, they usually have either mailing lists that we're able to send it out to, or a lot of the B2B. Most of my design work is B2B, and so we'll utilize the employee base and we'll send it to, they have thousands of employees a lot of the time, and our assumption is that they are spending 40 hours a week working at the company and are very familiar with the brand, and therefore a good data set to pull from, or a good audience to poll, I should say. So we will utilize that. We are starting to have conversations with retailers who have large Instagram followings and incentivize them with something like a 10% off coupon to get them to take these tests. And what we're realizing on the retail side is, if we can incentivize a completion with a coupon, as an example, we can then isolate that one individual or all of the individuals, or however we segment it, and then go back to them and say, you said you like these 4 things. Here's a special offer on those 4 things, and we're not going to even waste your time with these things, right? Because you told us that you don't like those things. So I haven't deeply explored the retail component with that, but we're just starting to, and realizing like it's pretty powerful for that too, I think.
100%.
So much. Yeah. Was this what any of you were expecting for today's call? I hope it's exceeded expectations. I'm trying to get some heavy hitters in the it's the opposite of a stealth startup. It's a stealth community. It's just we've got heavy hitters, and I have some PhDs that are going to be in some future ones where we're talking about neuropolitics, and where we've done research papers on we've taken psychometric scales and actually aimed them at the AI to see how they respond at scale, and did a whole bunch of data science behind it. We're looking at future. I'm going to have a local AI company that's in machine learning that's been in there for a decade. They're going to be coming on. So hopefully, I know there's only 3 of you in here, but I'm gonna be working literally every day to try to get more people in and build it up. But do you feel like you got value out of this? Do you feel like this is great?
100%. I'm like super inspired.
Yeah.
Sweet. Amazing. Yeah. And like I said, sorry, go for it, Cinder.
No, I said that this is what Joe is doing is very, very interesting. Never saw anything like that. So.
Please connect on LinkedIn's probably the best platform if you're on LinkedIn.
Let me get your LinkedIn.
But I mean, I'm literally giving it away to people who have interesting use cases for it for now. You can, if you want to look at the pricing model on the site or whatever, that's fine. But like people I know in person that I have met or I have worked with before at this stage, I'm just saying go use it for a quarter or even a year and do something cool with it and tell me about it so we can kind of think about it better. So if either of you, if anybody has something they want to experiment with it, just hit me up.
Yep. His LinkedIn is in the chat, definitely. All right. Well, I think we'll call it there then. This was an awesome coffee time. If this is what it is every 2 weeks, I'm hyped. And Jasmine, like I said, go away, do your thinking, think about it. Any questions?
Hit me up with questions or ideas. Yeah. Like I know a girl who's in law school who wants to use it to poll jury members before a case goes to court for things like racial bias. I'm like, I would never have thought of that. Like, that's brilliant. That there's just such broad application. Like, yeah, please, if you're a deep thinker and you have an idea, please let me know.
Yeah, we're here to, like I said, I want this community to come together because we all just have one piece of it, right? I had an old PhD or a master's advisor who told me, yeah, when you're in something that you're really meant to be in, it's like finding a bunch of people that are all broken, but broken in the same way, and you all have a different piece to add. And that's always the goal here, right? How do we come together and find something new? And I hope that's what you got today for everyone. Cinder as well. I'd love to talk more about your university. And David, I'll send you I'll be posting this recording. It's going to be on YouTube. We're going to cut it up and make shorts out of it. If everyone's okay with that, I can blur out faces. If you're not, you can just tell me, hey, Jake, absolutely not. Just, let me know, and I won't do it. But this was super fun. I very much enjoyed this. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Jake, and thanks everybody for.
Nice to meet you. Have a great night.
Very nice to meet everybody.
Have a good evening. Yeah, it was lovely meeting you.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. No way. Sorry.